So I was very proud to use my platform in the European Parliament to promote democracy and human rights unequivocally, speaking out in the plenary, hosting conferences and events. And I was pleased to meet with Lee when he visited Brussels to have meetings with ETUC and Socialist and Democratic comrades in 2019. He brought with him actually a journalist, a media reporter who was literally too afraid to have his photograph taken with any of us. There are many ways in which parliamentarians can raise issues, both in Westminster and also in the European Parliament. And I also know at local level as well, with it, and Labour members can do that within their CLPs, but we should be getting local authorities to do more as well. So we were in the European Parliament also tabling written questions. We were using Monday night debates when we could speak about matters of importance. We could table, we could ask to speak about some of the issues that were ongoing. And in fact, in the European Parliament, there were many debates and many very strong resolutions ever since the beginning of the umbrella movement. And Joshua Wong was invited to address the Human Rights Subcommittee in December 2018, I think it was, 2019 maybe. And he, the last minute, he wasn't allowed to travel, but he still appeared over Skype, and he was, and it was a brilliant event with lots of MEPs, both in the committee and other people. I was never on the Human Rights Committee, but that doesn't mean you don't have to do human rights work. I suppose what I wanted to say is that the EU is full of competing interests, because whilst you've got the kind of work that I was doing in the European Parliament happening, you've also got a lot of lobbying about trade, free trade, and trade at any price. And, you know, and Clive's just talked about the big tech industries and all the rest of it. But the current EU-China trade deal, which has taken 7 years to negotiate, was signed off in principle in December. However, in the recent plenary, only literally, I think a week ago, it was overwhelmingly rejected by the European Parliament in a plenary vote. The Parliament will get to vote on the final agreement in a year's time. And if our record as parliamentarians was anything to go by regarding TTIP, which we voted down in the Parliament, then I think there could be some success with Parliament's actions on this trade agreement. And I'm still in touch with a former comrade, Jude Curtin-Darling, who is working for Industrial, the big trade union, and had previously worked as a confederal secretary for ETUC. And I'll put it in the chat, but ETUC have coordinated a really strong, very critical letter about this current trade agreement. It's been addressed to the Commission, the Council, the President of the European Parliament, and is demanding binding human rights clauses. And this, it's signed by a number of civil society organisations, including trade union networks, but also Christian Solidarity Worldwide, the International Federation for Human Rights, the International Campaign for Tibet, and 3 Ouija human rights organisations. And I think that there are ways that we can continue to work with our comrades in the Party of European Socialists, not just in the EU, but also the Council of Europe as well, to continue to put pressure on. And having mentioned the Ouija organisations, I think we were just going to hand over for a brief some brief words about this campaign, which aligns really with the work we're doing with Labour Movement for Solidarity with Hong Kong.